Hey guys. Alright, so we're going to do the self-portrait, basically what we practiced for last week with learning the different facial features and how to draw them. So what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to ask you to do as well, I took a self-portrait, basically. I took a selfie, okay? I told you guys that you need to pick a background that is going to be meaningful. If there's anything in it, it should be purposeful. Like, don't just take a picture in front of a bunch of crap that you don't care about, okay? So by that I mean don't just randomly take a picture. You need to actually think about what's in the background because you're going to have to draw it. Okay, so this is what I took a picture of. In the background you see a wall decoration that says "Families Are Forever," and then I'm in the foreground. Obviously I look a little bit sad in the picture. That's intentional. I didn't smile because I figured if I have this here with this look on my face, it's going to have, there's going to be a story behind it. You're going to want to know the story. So the story actually is that I purchased this before I actually got divorced. I purchased it probably like about 5 years before I got, well, maybe even 10, like a while before I got divorced. And so that's why, you know, this has a sad face. I still believe families are forever. My children are in my family and they are my everything. So, but that's what the look is. Okay, so I'm going to kind of like map out where everything is because I tested it out and you will not be able to see it if I draw as light and sketchy as I normally do. So I'm going to have to go darker than I would normally just so that you'll be able to see it. Okay, so I'm looking at this and transferring over to here. So I kind of look at how far this is down the paper, you know, or what the paper will be, and I kind of judge, okay, well, that's going to come down to about here. So this is going to be where, you know, that wall art is going to start. Okay, my head is a little bit higher than that. So I'm going to say about like this. I'm thinking that's going to be good. No. Let me think. This needs to either go up or that needs to come down. I'm thinking this needs to go, yeah, this needs to come up a little. So this is why I normally like to draw lighter, because this is going to be fun to erase. You're still going to see it, I think. But I wanted to make sure you guys would be able to see what I'm drawing. Alright, so I did already draw this once. I started it once. But my daughter came out and didn't realize I was on the phone, or not phone, I mean doing this, and started talking. So, yeah, so that's why I'm redoing it. Alright, so we're going to make sure this comes down, and it comes in front. Okay, the other part goes over this way. Alright, so I think about where the bottom, I guess because of the angle that I took the picture, this part kind of looks like it's at an angle. So that's what I'm going to do. Make that at an angle. And then this kind of goes off right about, actually a little bit lower, I guess, right about there. Okay, so let me erase my lines that I don't want. Okay, so that's a start. This is wrong right here. Okay. The eyes are going to be right about here. Draw the cross. Okay. The nose about here. And even though I tried my hardest, I'm still kind of at an angle, which is going to be interesting when it comes to, you know, getting it right. But I always, for some reason, and I don't know if this happens to other people, but when I go to take a selfie, my head automatically wants to go to the side. Like, it's very hard for me to look at the camera straight on when I don't know. So you can tell, like, if we look at my nose, it's not straight on. I'm kind of still angled this way, which I am not used to drawing myself that way, so this is really going to be interesting. I'm just kind of sketching in. And you can see the thing about if you have a picture as opposed to a mirror, if you have a picture, you can kind of zoom in on yourself and, like, you know, look at the different shapes. Like, I've got very deep set eyes, so I know I'm going to draw this in, you know, because that line is really dark for me, sadly. But, you know, obviously it's not going to be as dark on this side because of the fact that it is, the light is brighter on this side because my head was at an angle. Now remember what I said about your eyes. Your face is about 5 eyes wide. So if you think about, you know, this is where the one eye is going to start, this is where the other eye is going to start. See how that's about a spacing of an eye in between? So I'm just looking at the shape of my eye, and I'm trying to get the space here correct for my picture. Okay. And I don't know, I know one thing, like, my face is not completely symmetrical. A lot of people's aren't, but I noticed that this eye in pictures is always more wide than my other eye. I noticed it only because of doing self-portraits when I had to start doing a lot of self-portraits in college. I realized it, and it was kind of a shock at first because I never noticed when I was younger, but as I got older, it became painfully clear. Alright, so that's a good start. My nose, I definitely have a different shaped nose. So remember, you are looking at your picture and trying to draw it as close as possible. You're going to make mistakes, guys. It's just natural. Like, you're going to be erasing. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to like the way it looks at first. It's going to take a little while and a lot of shading and things like that before you're probably going to actually like the drawing. Especially noses. Noses are not fun to draw. Alright, so okay, I'm going to erase some of my guidelines in the center. Okay. This is going to take you a while, guys. It should. It's something that you're not accustomed to doing, so it should definitely take a little bit of time. Alright. You can see on my eye how it is, sorry, trying to make sure it doesn't go to dark screen. See how my eyelids kind of disappear a little. Okay. Okay. I have a little bit of crease here. Obviously, these lovely lines, they're going to be fun. All right. Let's draw this in. This is the Cupid's bow. Let's see if this is the center of my mouth. Remember, the lines are still going to apply, so that's going to be about how wide the mouth is going to go out to. Now that extends to right here. So see, if you look, that's about where that line's going to end. So it's not like the whole lip will necessarily go out that far, but at least the crease from your lip will. Okay, and I'm just looking at the shape of my lip. Okay. Now this side is going to appear a little bit longer, and that's because of the angle that I'm holding my head at. It's a very slight angle. It's probably not going to quite up that high. And it's kind of natural to not like your drawings at first, guys. Like, I do not like this right now. I don't like the lips. I don't like the nose. It's just kind of the way it is. But I know it's going to get better. You just have to kind of have faith that it's going to get better. Alright, so I've got lovely wrinkles and things like that because I'm older. Hoping you're seeing. Good, you are. Okay, I know it's light, guys, but I have a really hard time drawing dark at first. So it's difficult for me to get it really dark so that you're gonna. All right. So I've got a line right here. I'm just putting it in lightly. I also have a little bit of a dent here. I'm just putting that line in so that we'll, you know, I'll work on that a little bit more as when I start adding shading. Okay. Let's see. So this is kind of where my part is right here. So this is going to be where this starts. So I'm just going to kind of indicate that here. So I'm not going to really shade or anything, but I am going to put some detailing on the hair a little bit. But notice I'm not coloring the whole thing in. Like, I don't want to see you guys just kind of go like this. Okay, there's different parts of my hair that are going to look lighter and different parts that are going to look darker. And I've got this whole bit that comes forward, but then I have all this in the back, right? So this whole part here is going to look like it's coming forward and right off the page. Okay, and then I've got other parts. Now I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to do this using color or if I'm going to have it just be shades of gray just using regular pencil. I haven't quite made up my mind yet as far as that goes. Alright, my hair comes out about here. Alright, I've got this big part here that comes down like this. Right here. But this way, if you kind of map out the way your hair looks for the most part, it'll make it easier when you go to start adding the shading and things like that. This is all going to be in shadow. Right in here is going to be in shadow. Okay. Alright, so to kind of map this out, it's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. See, no, that doesn't look right, does it? Alright, let's see. This is going to have to come out farther because the R is going to be right about here. And families, let me go this way. I may have kind of put my head over too far this way, but since I've drawn the whole thing in, I'm not going to change that. And just like if yours is a little bit off like that, I don't want you to go and change that either. Try to make it as accurate as possible, But if it's a difference like this where it's, you know, this winds up, I have to make this just a little bit bigger and try to split the difference. Alright, so I know that this is going to say families, this is going to say R, and this is going to say forever. I never really looked at how the lettering is, so it's going to be interesting. So it looks like, see, it's all cut out. That's the thing. So I'm going to draw it the way it looks. I don't know if you guys can hear that rain through the video, but whew, it is pouring down out here. Alright. So there's another one that comes down like this. This is going to come this way and loop around. And I guess it's like this right here. Okay. And then there's another one that comes right here. Alright. Just give myself a little guideline that I want my lettering to be on. Alright. I can always go back and erase that later. So yeah, guys, this is going to take a little bit of time. And it should take a little bit of time on yours too, in your background. But if you don't want anything this intricate, that's fine. You can do a plain background. But like I said, if you're going to have something in the background, it needs to be intentional. And I don't recommend it being another person or even an animal. Just because that's going to add another element of difficulty to it that I don't want you to have to worry about. That's a weird S. Goes up. It's the way it's cut out, it just looks strange. Alright, so that's the rough draft for that. What are we at? 24 minutes? That's not too bad. Okay. That's funny. The R looks like how I draw my R's. Like, I have to do it a little bit different because it's not going to look like an R, it's going to look like an X if I draw it like this. So I want it to be easily read, so I'm just going to stylize in the different R. Alright, and so the last part is the forever. Just let me see what the R looks, or the F looks like a little bit better. I feel like that one doesn't look the same, but I like the way it turned out here. Alright. And I'm going to do that same stylized R that I already did before, just because I want it to be easily legible. Alright, so this is going to come up like this. They did their V's weird too. This is kind of all over the place, so I need to fix it. Don't be afraid to erase, guys, if you realize you're making a mistake. See, I was making that E too big. I need it to rest here, and I need it to not get really above here. It needs to be within this size. So okay, that looks better. All right, so as far as the general drawing, this is pretty good mapped out. The only thing that I will want to go in and add are these little like kind of leaf designs. Um, let's see. I'm adding some in because it just kind of looked plain in some spots. So alright, we've got a little loop here. I feel like this needs one going this way. And notice that it's kind of like got what's called a patina, so it's like the back is kind of black looking, and then it kind of has part that's buffed up, so it's like kind of like a gold. So that's the way it's going to look. Part's going to be the background's actually going to be the dark part, and the leaves are going to be the light part for that. And I think this one is, you can't really see this in the picture, but this is kind of a different pattern. It just has kind of lines inside it. This line's going this way and this one. All right. Let me see. What else can you see? You can see my shirt here. Cannot see where the collar is because my hair is blocking it. So I guess that's kind of about it, guys. The only other thing that I could say is to detail where the light is reflecting in your eye. So that looks kind of creepy. My one pupil is bigger than the other. It'll look better once all the other details are added in, but right now it kind of has like a very vacant look about it. I know it looks weird, but it's really there, see? But I indicate where some of my other lines are real quick, and then I'm going to be done. At least for now. Eyebrows. You notice that my eyebrows are really light. they're hard to see. There's really not much to my eyebrows. I know where they are, but there's not much to my eyebrows. I'm just going to kind of give a little line because right here is all dark. So I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of line here and where my cheekbone is, because that will be darker. So when you guys do this, you're definitely going to want to make sure that everything is visible for your picture. So once you kind of have an idea where these lines are, you can go in, you know, don't make them too dark. You don't want it to be darker than what it's going to be. But I'm going to darken it up so that you guys can see it a little bit. I'm not adding really extra lines so much as I am going over some of the lines that I already have created here. I'm not going to go over top of this for right now any more than I already have, just because I don't want that to, I don't want to accidentally change anything that's there. Okay, this is the way my nose is shaped. Everybody's is going to be shaped differently. You need to really look at yours. I'm going to erase some of the guidelines that I still have that are showing through. Because I don't need that anymore. I can go ahead and add some of these. I've got this huge line that comes across. I've got some little bit lighter lines there. I know it looks weird in the drawing, but it'll get better as I go. And that's about it, guys. So, as you can see, that's about a good start for my self-portrait. Okay? So that'll be checkpoint 1.